Hello guys, welcome to the TheFactDrop YouTube channel. Today we're busting 10 animal myths that everyone believes but are totally wrong. From colorblind bulls to suicidal lemmings, get ready to unlearn some facts you probably grew up with. But before we get into these facts, please remember to like and subscribe for more riveting videos. Okay, let's get to it. Fact number 1. Bulls hate the color red. You've seen it in movies. Matadors flaunting bright red capes, bulls storming forward like they've got a vendetta. But here's the twist. Bulls are actually red-green colorblind. That fiery red cape? It could be blue or green. They wouldn't know the difference. So what really sets them off? It's the motion. That constant fluttering and whipping of the cape triggers their charge. The red color? That's all for show. A tradition rooted in spectacle, not science, meant to thrill the audience, not the bull. Fact number 2. Touching a baby bird will make its mom abandon it. You've probably heard the warning. Don't touch that baby bird. Its mom will smell you and abandon it. Sounds dramatic, but it's totally a myth. Most birds actually have a pretty weak sense of smell. They're not going to catch a whiff of your scent and go, "Nope, not my kid anymore." If you see a baby bird on the ground, chances are it's a fledgling, just learning to fly. It may look helpless, but it's probably doing just fine. Unless it's injured or in danger, the best thing to do is give it space. Mom's likely close by, keeping an eye on her little daredevil. Fact number 3. Ostriches bury their heads in the sand. You've heard it before. Ostriches bury their heads in the sand when they're scared. Sounds silly, and that's because it is. Ostriches don't hide from danger by sticking their heads in the dirt. What they're actually doing is tending to their eggs or digging out a nest in the sand. From a distance, when they lower their long necks, it might look like their heads have disappeared, but that's just an optical illusion. Burying your head in the ground to avoid predators? Not exactly a top-tier survival tactic. So nope, ostriches are way smarter than that. Fact number 4. Goldfish have 3-second memory. Goldfish get such a bad rep. People love to say they forget everything after 3 seconds, but that's just not true. In reality, their memory can last months. They can learn tricks, recognize their owners, and even associate specific sounds with feeding times. Studies have shown that goldfish can remember things like the time of day they're fed or the sounds of their tank being cleaned. They're also capable of learning simple tasks, like navigating mazes or pressing levers for food rewards. So, despite their reputation, goldfish are far more intelligent than we give them credit for. The next time someone tells you their goldfish has 3-second memory, you can let them know it's much more impressive than that. Fact number 5. Camels store water in their humps. You've probably heard it 100 times. But here's the truth. That's a myth. Camels' humps are actually full of fat, not water. That fat serves as an energy reserve and helps them regulate their body heat. The real secret to their survival in the desert? Camels can go days without water, but they actually store it in their bloodstream, not their backs. When a camel drinks, its body absorbs a huge amount of water quickly, which is then distributed through their system. So next time you see a camel, remember, their humps are for fat, not hydration. Fact number 6. Daddy longlegs are super venomous, but can't bite humans. You've probably heard it. Daddy longlegs are the most venomous spiders, but their fangs are too small to bite us. Let's break that down. First off, daddy longlegs aren't even spiders. They're harvestmen, a type of arachnid, but not part of the spider family. And as for being venomous? Nope. They're not venomous at all. The myth likely started because they have long, creepy legs and can look a bit intimidating. But in reality, they're just harmless little creatures, often found chilling in basements or tucked away in corners. They don't bite, they don't sting, they're basically just lanky weirdos minding their own business. So if you spot one, feel free to leave them be. They're not a threat. Fact number 7. Touching a toad gives you warts. Toads definitely have that bumpy, warty look, but touching one isn't going to give you any warts. The myth likely comes from the appearance of toads, which are often covered in warty-looking bumps. But warts on humans are caused by a virus, human papillomavirus, HPV, not by frogs or toads. Toads do have toxins on their skin to protect themselves, but they won't transfer warts to you. So, feel free to admire the toad, or even give it a gentle touch. Just be sure to wash your hands afterward, as the toxins can be irritating if touched and rubbed into your eyes or mouth. But warts? Not something to worry about from a toad. Fact number 8. Sharks can smell blood from miles away. Sharks are often said to have an incredible sense of smell, and while that's true, the idea that they can detect a single drop of blood from miles away is a bit exaggerated. In ideal conditions, sharks can indeed pick up on very small amounts of blood in the water. But there's a catch. Water currents, distance, and other smells in the environment all play a role in how far a shark can actually detect blood. So, while sharks are impressive when it comes to their sensory abilities, they're not quite as supernatural as some myths would have you believe. Fact number 9. Chameleons change color to blend in. Chameleons are often thought to change color to blend in with their surroundings, but that's only a small part of the story. They're like nature's mood rings. Chameleons change color for a variety of reasons: to regulate temperature, signal stress, communicate with other chameleons, or even just because they're in a certain mood. Camouflage is actually a side effect, not their main reason for color changing. So, when you see a chameleon shift from green to red, it's probably saying, "I'm cold and annoyed." It's less about hiding and more about expressing how they're feeling in the moment. Fact number 10. Lemmings commit mass suicide. The idea that lemmings blindly jump off cliffs in mass suicide is one of the most enduring myths, but it's completely false. This myth actually originated from a staged Disney documentary in the 1950s, where lemmings were filmed falling off cliffs to create a dramatic effect. The reality is that lemmings are migratory animals. They move in large groups to find food or new habitats, and sometimes during their migration, they do fall into water and drown. But this isn't some coordinated mass death ritual. It's simply part of their natural journey. The whole idea of a lemming death cult was literally fabricated for the camera. Mind blown? I bet some of these myths had you scratching your head. Drop a comment below and let me know which one you totally believed in. And hey, if you're all about learning weird, surprising facts, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on the next mind-boggling Mythbuster.